In this episode of Food Service Worker, this is the end of my chapter for Jersey Mike's. It was short-lived. Unfortunately, my videos talked about, maybe a couple of them talked about that, about the stuff that I went through, what I experienced and stuff like that, and all that good stuff. So real quick, let me introduce myself. So I've been working in the food industry off and on. I played various different roles in the food industry. I worked from the bottom, doing rolling silverware, all the way to food handling, to supervising, and cooking and stuff like that as well, all the way up to supervising. And so that's basically me in a nutshell there with my food service related stuff. I am for food. I am like certified, have my certificates in food handling and all that stuff too. And my goal of this channel is to teach people. I'm a big teacher of stuff. I like to teach people, I like to train people, help people understand what they could expect, what they might run into, all that stuff, what I went through, what the loops I had to go through, the ups and downs and all that stuff, and all that. So anyways, with that being said, get that out of the way. Today is September 20th, 2024. It was my last day working at Jersey Mike's. Unfortunately, the one of the owners of that franchise, the store, just felt that I wasn't going to be fit for the job. And even though I came in and was scheduled to do my job, I wasn't even there, wasn't even logged in, but maybe like an hour, less than an hour, and basically she just felt that I wasn't going to be able to do the job, which is really a shame too, because some people are able to pick things up faster than others, and it's really a shame. So if you are somebody who may be a slow learner, this might not be the job for you. You might want to avoid a job like this where it's fast paced and stuff, because maybe they don't want to work with you. You know what I mean? And maybe they will. This place did not want to work with me, and there was a lot of failures on the company side too that I look at. I'm not fully blaming them and not taking credit, not taking responsibility for my own actions. I'm not playing the victim here, but I think there was things that the owners could have done to help me better prepare for being more successful with the job, but they don't care. They didn't care. What they cared about was getting people in, and they were doing applications. I mean, you have people that are in there doing applications, and they're filling up slots. I mean, they were giving you only 5 hours a day at this one store, and to try to learn where you were going to fit in at, and it's cool. There's nothing personal against them. I have nothing against them at all. It's the way it is. I was grateful for the opportunity to be able to work for them, to be able to see how that store was ran. Doesn't necessarily mean that that's how every one of them is going to be, but unfortunately that store didn't work out for me. And I struggled pretty bad because I had too many people trying to tell me do this way, do it that way, and not just one person teaching me the way it should have been done. And memorizing stuff just was a little bit tough for me with the environment to work in. So unfortunately, that's the end of my chapter with Jersey Mike's. It was fun while it lasted. My videos are all now on the internet, on YouTube. They're now publicly viewable so that people can see what I experienced working there, and it doesn't necessarily mean that that's what everybody's going to experience. There were some great people I talked with on Reddit for Jersey Mike's, great people that were not biased, and they didn't troll or anything like that, so it was kind of cool. A lot of them were straight up. They talked very professional, very nicely. They weren't rude, like a lot of places are that I've worked at, and I've gone to Reddit and talked to them, to people, and they were just like the worst people ever. Some of these people I just was curious to know why they choose to work there. None of that's my business, but I was just curious to know what their ultimatum was, because for me, I'm 40 years. I'm in my 40s, okay, and so, I don't mind doing these videos. But at the same time, I like looking for a job that's gonna be able to make me want to stay there long term and have a work-life balance too. But when I actually got into Jersey Mike's, and it's something that you will now know and work during the interviewing process. Sorry, I don't script my videos in any ways, and I stutter and all that stuff. But anyways, trying to get as much out as fast as possible because these videos turn out long if I don't. So during the interview process, it's probably a good idea to ask if there's any benefits, what the benefits are to working at Jersey Mike's. So do you get 401k, do you get stocks, anything like that, and decide if that's good enough for you to not have any of that stuff. If you're just there for the insurance, fine. But long term, what is the pay going to be? So that you can know that, okay, am I going to be able to survive on this pay and all that stuff? So my biggest struggle that I had was that they didn't want to walk me around the store. You would have thought at this location, a first date, the main goal would have been first introducing you to the areas of the places that you need to know where stuff is. That's every job I worked at. This is where I knew this is where I could find this at. Then we move us into the actual working scene of doing the job. You know what I mean? Then we work. No, we're straight in, moving people in, out, and the other. If you don't work out, the next guy who just applied is coming in now, and this place. It's an evolving thing. I mean, it was crazy. I come in on my shift, and the owner, one of the lady who's the owner, with her husband, she was already on the flat top cooking a whole bunch of sandwiches, not wearing gloves and stuff like that. And I'm thinking to myself, this is crazy. You don't want to wear gloves and you're touching people's food and stuff like that. And her excuse was because the food is cooked at 165 degrees Fahrenheit, she doesn't have to wear gloves and all that stuff, but we do as employees, but not her and her husband. So I think to myself, okay, whatever. So I go over there and I start rolling the sandwiches up, and they got a big order. And, and then she tells me to go do the dishes, and she started asking me, did I study the book? And unfortunately, I have a busy schedule. I work another job. I do other things in life too. And I didn't have time, man, to do that. It is what it is. So if that's a good enough reason, let me go. Fine. So be it. Study the book. If you're going to work at Jersey Mike's, pick up their book, okay, their menu. Pick up their menu before you apply. If you think about applying at Jersey Mike's, pick up their menu. Study this book of all the food toppings, and then go apply. Once you memorize this, that way you should be good. That way, when you're put in an area, you know how much to put on there. That's the way you don't have the problems that I do. Anyways, though, I'm wrapping this episode up. Hopefully, y'all. Found some great content from the amount of videos I did for a short amount of time I was working at Jersey Mike's. And, stay tuned. You never know where I'll be at next in the food industry. Might be a while because, I might decide to go pick up something better than food. So there might be a flat line of videos on food service and stuff like that, or positions like that, because I don't like bouncing around. I did think about, for the heck of it, applying to be a dishwasher at a restaurant, because dishwashing is kind of fun. You get your own little thing to be in the back. You just wash dishes. Make sure your dishes are all maintained. Let them dry or run through a dryer, and then hang them up. Make sure they're all good. And it's all easy peasy stuff. Ain't much to memorize other than just scrub, spray, dish, dry, run through a dryer maybe. Hopefully the machine's not broken, but those are always good videos to do, is when you work at a new job and stuff is broken on your first day there. It's always fun. Dish machine's not working, hot water heater's not working, so it's not making hot water to steam dry stuff. You don't got enough room to put dishes at to let them air dry, because you can't wipe them out with a rag like you can at home, some people do. So it's always fun. I had those days before when I did dishes and stuff. Having to let them air dry, and I don't have enough room to space everything out, especially if I need to reuse it and it's still wet, So that's it. Questions for me, leave them down in the comments below. I'll see you all somewhere down the road in another episode of Food Service Workers. See y'all.